Hello and welcome back to another episode of.
Hey, can you
Sorry,
not?
okay.
Wow.
Sorry,
We
I
are
have
professional
Twitch open on the
strangers.
screen over here so I can comment
Wow.
on things sometimes, but I forgot to turn the sound off this time. I'm so sorry for that.
So
Hi,
unprepared. We had so
welcome
much
back.
All
time.
right, start from the top, guys.
Shh, it's
Yeah,
fine.
turn it
It's
back.
fine.
Turn it back on.
Hi, welcome back to another episode of Paper Dungeon. We're so happy you're here. As you guys can see, Grant is not going to be joining us tonight. He is taking a personal day, and so we're going to continue on, and he'll be back next week. But before we get started with tonight's episode, as per usual, we do have a few quick announcements. Also, Drew, I didn't tell you this, but you're doing Grant's announcements, so I'll let you go last. We'll start with Aaron, though.
Yes. Hello, everybody. We have social medias. That is no wait. That's not my thing. Isn't that Lydia's thing?
Lydia does social media.
I just
You
went
like the
straight
website.
into. I just went straight into what I do on Table Scraps. Sorry. Sup,
Just
everybody.
does all
We have
the
a
announcement.
website. www.thepaperdungeon.com, where we have a merch store where we sell stuff that has our logo on it and other fun stuff like that. And speaking of merch stores, there's another person who happens to have a merch store here. Their name is Lydia Corinne. And that's website lydiacorinne.com.
Roll corn.
Sells cool art, all of our overlays and all of our character art. Pretty much anything that looks arty that you see on stream was done by Lydia. So check it out. You can also commission art from her. She's very good at her job and likes money. So send it.
You know, it's kind of helpful. Sweet.
Money is great.
It's a useful tool. Lydia, what are your announcements?
Hi, friends. We have social media. We have Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook. Don't go to Facebook, though. So you should follow us on all those other things except Facebook. And yeah, we're other places, and we'd love to see you other places as well.
You know what we should do? We've talked a lot about like what we should do with the Facebook. We just need to have one post that's just like a boomerang of Lydia just like shaking her head no, like disappointedly shaking her head no.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Speaking of disappointing, I forgot to mention that we also have a Discord. It's a really rad place where people who watch us and people who don't can hang out and chat and say good morning to each other. And sometimes I stream
morning,
games on
Kanye.
there and stuff like that. And you can suffer through backyard baseball to me.
Ooh.
And it's a bad time, but it's a great time.
Yes, exactly.
So head on over there. Also, if you are a subscriber, sometimes we post some cool stuff in the sub-only section from our Patreon that I'm pretty sure Drew potentially might talk about.
Drew, your turn. What are you going to talk about?
You got this, buddy.
I believe in you.
Well, guys, so as the official stand-in for Grant's announcements today, check us out on podcast platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts,
Right, I got so loud.
all the other places the podcasts appear. I don't know.
Podbean, I think.
Podbean.
I think we
I
still
mean,
have
you
Podbean
can't
stuff.
go to Podbean to watch us. Yes, that's very true. So yeah, and if you are a podcast listener, thank you, and we appreciate you guys, and you guys are true champs because the patience that you guys have is amazing. Also, check us out on YouTube at the Paper Dungeon. We got shorts, we got previous episodes, we got one shots, we got previous table scraps. It's great time, great place to catch up on stuff and content. Eventually, we're gonna have some cool stuff over there to help people catch up even faster. So be on the lookout for that. Also,
Support us.
yeah, I was getting there. I was about to get there.
I knew, but I thought I'd support you from the background.
If you guys want to support us outside of sharing us with your friends or subscribing on Twitch, you can also check out our Patreon at the Paper Dungeon as well. We have cool one-shots that come out about approximately once every month. And then eventually some more stuff is going to happen as the year continues to roll. I know Aaron has big plans for that. Getting some additional cool content there, so check it out. We also have a Ko-fi. Nothing's like you. That's just a way to give us money.
Yeah, it's just
but
fun.
you don't necessarily get anything out of it. So
It's really fun for us, though.
It's true. It's nice. Also, Drew, you got in chat.
Wander's complaining.
that the podcast hasn't been updated. She's running out of episodes, so
I'm sorry.
That's pretty devastating.
Look, Wander, I promise, I'm trying so hard.
Uh-huh.
I worked 40 hours at my job where I'm only supposed to work 25.
Excuses.
to be fair, Drew worked a ton this week, and he's starting two businesses outside of TPD and his full-time job that he works. So he's put his nose to the grindstone. He's working hard, just to be fair.
Aren't we
Wanda,
all?
Wanda, I promise, end of the week, I'm gonna have at least one more episode on there.
One more.
That's
Okay.
a problem.
That's
That
another
is
4 hours. That's another
I
day
was
of
gonna
work.
say, don't make a promise you can't keep, but I think
that's
you
a
can do
pretty
that.
achievable one.
You know,
Yeah.
solid
I
goal.
think you got
solid
that.
goal.
Yes, way to set the bar low, Drew.
You know, then you can
I'm just trying to be
shoot
honest.
past.
Just saying, if you blow it, it's going to be even more devastating because of how low of a bar you set.
You know, that is true. Actually, yeah, that's right.
With the low standards that we set here at TPD, let's go ahead and roll the clip through.
Welcome to Nico Muris, a world of lost legend and forgotten lore. As the world, still recovering from the decimation of the trial, approaches the turn of the century, ancient evil returns with a lust for darkness and ruin. Follow us into a planar conspiracy as powers beyond your imagination plot the downfall of all that is right and good. 3 years have passed since our heroes fought a war to reclaim a fallen land. Now, they must once again take up arms and write a new story, a tale of glory, fear, and fortune, as they make their way through the Paper Dungeon.
And we are back. So, in our previous episodes, our party has made their way to the plane of Pandemonium. They are doing this in search of the plains of Illaver, this long lost battleground and kind of ground zero for where the events of the trial, basically an era of divine judgment, started out on the material plane. After that trial, the planes separated and many of the places on the material plane became the outer planes, so on and so forth. But the party has been making their way to the plane of Pandemonium to find a specific item. They're looking for... What are you whispering at each other?
I sneezed and Aaron said bless you and I said thank you. Continue.
Yeah, we were just being genteel.
I missed the sneeze, so I didn't see that. Anyway, I'm so sorry. So you made your way to the plane of Pandemonium, searching for an item, a remnant of a lost figure, one known as Clovar. Someone that you've learned to be one of the 9 Vesht Lords, an ancient race akin to that of elves, humans, and dwarves during the initial plane of wisdom, and one that you are looking to resurrect through your newly discovered and successful ritual that you used to bring back Melora. In order to do that, you went to the plains of Illaver. Once you arrived on the plane of Pandemonium, you immediately fought the sun. It was a great time, you know? More like dodge the sun, we should say. Kind of like shirked it a little bit. Before then proceeding to go on and fight mirror versions of yourself, battle the winds. Eventually you met a ancient silver dragon by the name of Tavut, the voice of the lost. She was banished here after she lost her bid for the throne of the dragons to the current king, Raikorum, and has been here for the last couple of years or so. With her help, you guys were actually able to find the plains of Illaver after traveling for a little bit. These plains are an ancient battleground. You can see torn down buildings, ruins of a city, broken down trees. There's floating bits and pieces of rock that's chained down. And at the center of all of this destruction is a pure white globe of light. It has a small ring of rock around it, and as you approached it, you noticed that the gravity began to shift. With that shifting gravity, it pulled the 4 of you, or all 6 of you, up into this globe. Well, what you discovered was that this globe was a set of trials. to see if you are worthy of entering into really the true version of this area and a place where you could truly find exactly what you're looking for. For Abinthy, the question, or I should say, not just for Abinthy, but for all of you, the key to entering into this area was answering the question, what do you seek? For Abinthy, it was power through knowledge. And while there are many interpretations of that, it was found that Abinthy was not worthy to join. And so he was rejected and shunned out of this globe of white light. And also, a little minor detail, he's dealing with some minor madness. So he currently doesn't remember exactly who he is really at all anyway. He's kind of down to the software basics of him. And so once he was shunned out, he didn't know who his party members were or that he was friends with them. And under the pressure of being attacked, he just left. Returned to the material plane to find himself on a rocky mountainside, familiar to his past but unfamiliar to him currently, at which point he hunkered down in one of the shelters here and is currently waiting out the night. The rest of the party, Edward, Cather, and Renaya, all went through their own separate trials. Cather looking for redemption, Renaya looking for true love, and Edward looking for peace. All of you went through your trials and learned a little bit more about yourselves and what it is that you're truly looking for and what you can do about it before it allowed you into this ancient area. When you all arrived in this plane, it slowly revealed itself to you and the history behind it as the beginning of the trial, the start of these events unfolded as you watched Lon and Tari cast judgment over the world and bring down destruction on the non-believers through these 6 ancient figures, these entities of destruction that she brought with her. After you witnessed that, you were allowed to move through the remains of the city, and as you did, you noticed that on any of the citizens and people that were brought down through these events, there were glowing items, something integral to their character. And you realize that if you were to take one of these, this would work as one of the material components needed for the ritual as a way of connecting the soul to a body, kind of the medium between the two needs. Knowing this, you went to the center of the city, a place where someone like Clovar would lie, and you found a dead tarum tree, one of the symbols of Cather's girlfriend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Significant other.
Yeah, SO, Atrasil, one of the prime goddesses of the war domain. That, along with the iron sparrows, another symbol, and Atrasil's swords, actually embedded in the base of the tree, all led to don't do that. I already struggle to focus. But this all led you guys to question what her involvement was here. But hanging from the hilt of those swords was a chain with an adamantine tarum fruit, one of the fruit of these trees, hanging from it. And you quickly realized that this was a remnant of Clovar. You took it, you felt the power before it just kind of relaxed a little bit. And you were all then able to leave this vision, this kind of separate demi-plane within this plane. After so, you found yourself back on the plane of Pandemonium, howling winds. Abinthy was gone. Thankfully, Tavut and Volna had made their way outside of the city, and Volna was able to find a little bit of shelter beneath Tavut's wing. You all joined her for that shelter before eventually casting Lehman's tiny hut, and Tavut joined you in that. After which you discussed, and you're like, I don't know where Abinthy is, I don't know what's going on. And we kind of just left it there with you guys trying to figure out what your next steps are, how to get off this plane without Abinthy, and what you're going to do moving on from here. So we're going to pick up right there with Cather and Renaya. You guys are hunkered down. You can take a long rest, you can take a short rest. I don't know what exactly you guys are wanting to do, but we're gonna pick up with you guys. So with that in mind, what do you guys want to do?
Think a rest would be good. I've used up some of my higher level spell slots, so I'd like to get those back. Seeing as we're kind of stuck in pandemonium right now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we can start the process of a long rest. I mean, because, like, I suppose, yes. Here, let me speak in character, shall I? A longer rest, I'm sure, would be fine. I mean, since we don't exactly know where Abinthy is, you know, it would be best to try and recover some strength because we don't know how long we would be here. Do we know of anyone else who could perhaps recover us, aside from Abinthy?
Well, in the meantime, I can cast Leoman's tiny hut. I'm just stepping in as Edward here.
Yes, I believe
That's what I
happened.
assume
I
he
believe that
sounds
happened
like.
at the end of the episode,
Yeah,
but thank you.
you're-
I
Edward.
just really want to make sure. I can cast it
Um,
as many times as you need. It's a ritual.
Like, do we think that, like, Leshka or somebody could try to help if Abinthy isn't back soon?
I don't know. That's more of a you question.
That's more.
I like the lizard boy.
Are you asking?
You are not Edward.
Is that Renaya asking Drew?
That is Renaya asking Cather being meta. Is Leshka able to do that?
I will say from your experience with Leshka, he is quite adept at traveling via teleportation. You have not seen him plane shift before. That's because I wasn't high enough level. But now he would be high enough level.
You know, I think I need to spend some time
Yeah,
swapping some spells out.
If
but
we
then I can.
if we need to rest first, I can't do anything as Cather. I'm worthless in these kind of situations. But you are useful, Renaya. As I look to Renaya and Edward, and I would look to Abinthy, but he's not here.
Depending.
Well, thank you.
Accordingly.
And I know Leshka is also quite capable, but I don't know. I don't know. So just throwing ideas out there in case we need them.
Maybe I could. Oh, actually, let me look at that and see if I can do that first.
We need a pair of sending stones. That's what we need. We need a pair of sending stones. Where
You know,
and
you would
Leshka
think
has.
at this point we would have gotten some, but we really.
Yeah, it's
we
been
are bad
mentioned.
at that.
That we do have one sending stone that goes to a dead guy.
Yeah. Wait, don't I have one with Volna? Did I
No,
not
you
I thought
guys
you had
talked
one-
about getting some, but you never.
And then
that
we
was
never
on the
did,
way
yeah.
to Pandemonium.
You were like, man, it would be really nice if we had these, right? But we were given one to talk to the dead general, who's dead now.
It's true. You have half of one.
Yeah, we have
Half of
a
the set.
we have a sending stone.
I wonder, but who knows? Maybe somebody picked that up.
Oh no.
So we could just talk
It's
to a
just some
random
dude,
person.
they're like, what
We're
the-
not on the same plane
don't
of
talk to me.
Okay. Yeah, I think a rest
Do you do that?
would be good.
All right. Well, I can take first watch. I'm feeling pretty good overall right now. So
Okay, I'm gonna. How long does it take me to swap out spells?
Technically,
I mean, according to the book, I
It's like
believe it
technically
says
24
after you
hours.
finish a long rest, you can change your spells.
yeah,
it takes
but,
about
it's-
1 minute per spell, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, whoop-de-doo.
The actual time itself it takes to is just it says you could technically only do this after a rest, but
Okay.
You
'cause I
can
thought
change
But
your
it's
list
our
of
game, we
cleric
can do
spells
whatever
when you
we
finish
want.
a long rest. Preparing a new list of cleric spells requires time spent in prayer and meditation, at least 1 minute per spell level for each spell on your list. So yeah, just a long rest.
Okay. Cool beans. Then we'll do that.
yeah, and then Cather will kind of stay up for to keep watch since he doesn't have to do anything.
Perfect. Cather, there is Volna and Tevut. Would you like to talk to either of them, or you want to fast travel this long rest?
No, I mean I don't think there's anything he feels like he needs to talk about right now.
Perfect. Your 4 hours go by. The howling winds are hushed quite a bit. Go ahead and make a perception check for me, just while I'm here.
Sure. Perception. That's plus 6. 21.
21. About 3.5, 4 hours. You're pretty close to getting ready to switch over. Be just about as technically Lydia as you are finishing up your long rest, so you can switch out your spells. Since you are an elf.
Good old elf.
When you kind of notice a little globe of light in the distance. You guys had separated yourselves from the plains of Illiver quite a bit, trying to get some decent space, and so
Yeah.
you know that this isn't like the pure white globe at the center of the plains.
Yeah, no, that's behind us. This thing is in front of us.
Yeah, 100%. And with 21, you see the glow kind of flit around, like it's kind of a firefly or something. No, not a firefly. Fireflies are like, no, it's kind of more like almost fairy-esque in nature, where it just kind of flits and slides and glitters. And then you feel the rumble. It's just a gentle thing. You almost have to like put your ear to the ground to really get a sense for it. But there's definitely large footsteps coming.
That's not fun.
What would you do?
I will. I'll wait a moment to like kind of gesture to Renaya since she's still focusing on her spells. I imagine for just a couple minutes. But I'll turn to Volna and Edward and say, "Do you also feel that rumble? Almost like DM. You said it sounds like footsteps."
Yeah, kind of a rhythmic kind of crashing.
Yeah, and then he'll kind of just sit and wait until Renaya seems to be aware of her surroundings and out of her meditation as you.
Volna answering you goes, I don't hear anything. After a minute or two, Renaya, you'd finish your setup.
Renaya immediately is like, "What is that rumbling?"
With their passive perception. Yeah. Do you also see, kind of out in the distance, it looks like some sort of lights, like almost like a small little globule.
Do I see it, DM?
Yeah, as you look out, you see this little flittering glow, kind of a warmish orange glow all around. After a little while, though, it begins to go off into the distance, out of your view, and it's dark all around you once again.
Oh, okay, that's neat.
Do we follow it, or like, what are we supposed to do?
I mean, I would prefer. I was just worried if it was like gonna come find us and like attack us. Because like we still have 4 more hours in the bubble of safety, and.
Do you think it's another sun?
You know, depending on how far away it is, it might actually be another sun. You're totally
It's
correct.
moving a little weird to be a sun, but it's also pandemonium. So.
It's also pandemonium. That's right. Or it could just be a really unfortunate, like little firefly, who just like is having a really bad time.
Just
banished to pandemonium.
Bashed by the winds everywhere.
Yeah,
Just absolutely wrecked little firefly.
Got caught up in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, no, it happened to be on something as it was banished and just instantly gone.
Yep.
And
Just
is
saying, fireflies into the underground, they are notorious criminals all the time.
Is that rumble coming from the same direction as the little light?
As the light kind of got brighter for just a little bit, the rumbling got closer, and now that it's disappeared, the rumbling's gone.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's a good. I like that. I mean, do you have a way to figure out what that might be?
Probably not now that I
Perceive danger.
can't see it.
My favorite spell, 6th level.
I mean, I was thinking if she happened to have like a scrying spell or something,
I mean,
Like,
I could send
she
pockets.
could, in theory, scry on the lights and get a better view of it. But I don't.
I'm gonna send
don't know.
pockets. I summon pockets.
He's like he just like summoned him just into your hands, and he was definitely sleeping, like drool coming off. He's kind of laying all about.
Okay, first of all, wake up. Second of all, did you deliver the message? Yay. I kiss his head, and then I'm like, okay, there's a cool little light over that way with rumbling noises. I need you to go and look and see if you can see what it is, and I'm gonna watch through you, okay?
He looks at you like, what?
I said, yeah, just go in that direction. And I'll guide you. I'll talk you through it. Don't worry.
Before
okay?
he leaves,
He hops down.
Edward is gonna pull out his lute and strum a few notes and say, I don't here, Aaron, you're gonna have to say this, but he's gonna say, "You got this."
You've got this.
I'm gonna say he's giving him bardic inspiration. You can say yes.
Get his
or no
little
at the end.
guy. Fetch or whatever you do.
Okay. Anyway, Puckett, still.
He kind of shambles on out before running into the darkness, hoping to see and find something.
And I just go, whoom.
Yeah,
like
100%.
watching.
Go ahead and make I'm going to say a survival check with disadvantage.
But he can add a D8, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can use the inspiration.
Add a D8. Bonk, bonk. Is this my survival or his survival?
His survival.
Okay.
Well,
I'm on
we'll do your survival because it's probably higher, but still with disadvantage.
Okay. Let's see. That's an 11, and that was a natural 1. So with inspiration, with this 16.
Okay.
But it is a natural
1 is pretty good. You send Pockets out, and he begins exploring this darkness. And with a little bit of guidance from you, you guys search a pretty decent range in front of you, probably a good 100 to 200 feet or so in front of you. And after about 5 minutes or so of searching, going out, your 100 to 200 feet, as far as Pockets can see and is aware, at the moment the light is gone and the rumbling's no longer there. It seems to have turned away.
Do I hear the rumbling still from where I'm at?
No, you do
Okay,
not.
well that's a good sign.
I summon Pockets again.
That was
Alright.
the worst thing I've ever done.
I scratch his head as I continue on. Well, I don't see
Shakes
it
his
at
leg
all.
like a dog.
So, like, I don't see it at all, so...
This is not a factual representation of what Pockets looks like. I just want everyone to remember this.
I mean, Pockets
is
could
in
look like
fact a
that.
small unicorn.
We should get you a stuffed Pockets.
That would be.
Don't think I haven't thought about it.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, all right. Well, I don't know what else to do now at this point. We're just kind of holding out and waiting for
You need to rest?
Abinty or someone. I mean, I could stay up for a little bit longer, maybe while you message Leshka, just so we can all maybe be on the same page as to what's going on.
Alright, okay. I cast Sending to Leshka. There is a chance
Okay.
it doesn't make it to him.
Yeah, it's 10%, right?
5%.
Unless it's 5. Yeah.
I'm sorry, are you doing a message spell or sending?
Sending.
Oh, I see.
Oh,
Okay.
I see.
Your girl don't have message.
Okay, let's look.
It's because
Go
it's
ahead and
not great.
your. There we go. Yes.
I believe in you. What are the chances, right?
That was 6%, but
Ooh.
still works.
Woo!
Nice. So, what is your message to Leshka?
Hi, Leshka. We're stuck in pandemonium. Can you get us out? Remember how this spell works. Don't use too many words. Or say
Yeah, you're good. You've got one more if you want.
Love, dog.
Bye.
Nice. Leshka, or in this case, Andrew, in your mind, just so you're aware, you have been patrolling the Valley of Kings,
Right.
if you remember. Last time you guys talked a few weeks ago, you had informed the party that there were parties that had been exploring this area as well. So far, none of them had found anything, but you were a little bit concerned about it.
Uh-huh.
Well, an update to that.
Uh-huh.
People definitely are getting very, very close to lurking in, and you're pretty sure that people know that you are there and that you are guarding something, and that's a little bit concerning to you. So something to be aware of.
Okay, fun.
So you get to make
Is-
the discretion on if you want to leave or not.
Is Leshka with anybody? Like,
You were
does he have any colleagues from like the Scholar's Guide or anything?
Odd or even?
These have never gone well historically.
Odd.
You have one other person with you.
One other person.
Name is Rorik.
Ooh,
Rorik.
good name.
Good old Rorik.
Rorik, the
Writing that one down.
elf.
The
Ranger.
nice. The half elf ranger?
Yeah.
Ranger. That's not very helpful. I was hoping for, like a wizard or another sorcerer, somebody-
You're the wizard and the sorcerer. He's the guy that actually found the place because he knows how to find things. That's his skills.
Okay.
Dangers.
Like, and have these people, like, do I, like, know, like, actively, like, there are people currently here looking around?
Yeah, 100%. No, you don't know where they're encamped because they switch out things. I should have had you guys do like a scrying on Leshka. Would have been much better. But what you know is that there are multiple parties that have set up camps, but they're kind of roaming camps, and specifically with the intention of keeping you guys off guard of each other. You guys are kind of playing this game of like cat and mouse to kind of see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Of note, there is one member of this party that you've seen with a golden mask that billows smoke.
That's not good.
I think that's probably unrelated.
So,
That's real- that's
you have
real
received
bad.
this. You have received this message.
Yep.
That you guys are in pandemonium.
Uh-huh.
What are you gonna do?
Okay.
What do you say?
Thanks
Explain
for
that.
the updates. New developments at Kings Canyon, or whatever it's called.
Close enough.
The Valley.
Where
of
are we
Kings.
dropping, boys?
Valley of Kings. I'm thinking Kings Canyon because of Apex, yeah. Valley of Kings. Gold mask figure. Other parties searching. Close.
You've got 8 left.
Can't leave. Will send somebody from library. Bye.
All right, well, bad news.
What's the bad news?
Valley of Kings
good
stuff is
turn.
going down a little bit.
A little bit or a lot of
A
bit?
little bit. Person with gold mask with billowing smoke.
Okay, that's not good.
And,
That's very bad.
yeah, so that's happening. So Leshka can't leave. He says he's sending somebody from the library to get us out of here. But who knows when that will be?
Right. Okay.
I love being trapped on different planes of existence for extended amounts of time that we don't get to decide on.
Yeah, it's real
That
fun.
makes me so happy.
right.
God?
Anyway, so DM, to clarify what Leshka is going to try to do,
Yeah. No. Maybe.
he knows some very powerful people from the library who have
Uh-huh.
capabilities of traveling between planes.
Yeah.
He's going to send a message to one of them to be like, hey, can you or somebody else from the library go into Pandemonium and find Fate's Gambit and bring them back to the material.
Oh, we're good. Yeah, two words left. Succinct to the point.
We're going.
That's how it's done.
Book here.
Hey guys, this is the point in time in the episode where DJ flips through all the books he owns. Mark it down in your bingo sheets that we haven't updated.
So here's the issue.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So they can get to Pandemonium.
Yep.
Easy. They walk through the library. Life is good.
Yep.
Okay. Once they're on Pandemonium, they have to find you.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
The locate object spell, bless you, only finds people within 1,000 feet of you.
Correct.
So, what you are asking someone to do is to go to the plane of Pandemonium to potentially lose their minds to find these people that they might not find and then bring them back.
Easy.
Correct.
This is a pretty easy
but
step
see-
one,
okay,
step two.
but see, here's the thing. Let me give me a moment. I'm going to double check a thing.
Now, granted, let's look at this. Oh, let's just explore the option. We're just gonna see how feasible this is.
Does anyone
If it's
have the
feasible, they're gonna do it.
teleport spell?
Well, that's what I was thinking. Surely somebody has the teleport spell, and as long as they've met somebody from the party, they can just teleport to the party.
And Renai was at the library for like 3 years or something.
For
Some
I mean, for
amount.
6
Well,
months.
less than 3 years.
I mean,
it was 6 months. Yeah, 6 months,
there
3
are
years.
people who met, Edward and Cather from their time there
Yeah,
too.
no, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. I see that. I see. Yeah. No, that should work.
I see you.
So now they need to be able to cast teleport and plane shift.
We're doing some heavy metal math today.
Okay. So, what level of person?
Well, plane shift is level 7.
And so is teleport. So they need to be able to cast 2 level 7 spells.
Oh shoot! I actually don't know if you get up to 2 7th level spells in a day.
Well, that just means that they'd have to have an 8th level spell slot as well.
They would
Oh,
need to
yeah,
be,
that's fair.
they would need to be 15th level.
Yeah. So as strong as the party.
Yes.
Where's
15th level, you get 8th level. Abinthy, you have 8th level spell
Destiny's
slots?
Gamble?
Yeah.
Where's Destiny's Gamble? when
You
I
think
need
that they would help us? They would just leave her here
They're
to
like,
die.
hey, we just got rid of our rivals. Okay, so we need a 15th level character that works at the library that would have met Renaya. Okay.
So okay, give me 1 second. There's a guy that I'm thinking of.
Oh.
The alchemist.
The
with
crazy
no
one.
hands.
The one that tastes everything.
Absolutely.
No, not him. At least I don't think it's him.
The one that doesn't like us
'Cause it was
because we
the first
spawned
time
an
we went to
abyssal
the
portal into
library-
his room.
For the first time we went to the library, there was like the second the second highest ranking person at the library that Leshka talked to because he's like his boss, who's like insane, a very powerful wizard and he wanted to go to Terrakalmos's keep because he specializes in like finding magical objects and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I would imagine
vaguely
he would
remember
be
that.
at least 15th level by now.
Probably. Yes, Renaya? Do you have a comment? Question?
Well,
Maybe an answer?
it's kind of out of game, little meta, but
Like this whole conversation hasn't been that.
is there a different? Are you wanting us to take a different route than trying to find somebody through the library?
There's options. I had planned for you guys to be stuck here until Aventhy can show up, but if you can find a way to break that, I don't mind that. But that's fine. You
That's
know,
my solution. I presented my case. I
you
left the
presented your
rest
case.
in the hands of the person who can actually make it happen.
Tell you what, Drew. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna leave it up to chance. Okay.
Don't do that.
I'm gonna give you a solid 33% chance that this is gonna work.
33.
Okay. It's 1/3. That's 1/3. That's pretty good. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna have Aaron.
Oh God!
Aaron's
You're going to make me a
roll-
villain, and I'm not even here.
Aaron's gonna roll a d4.
I knew for a
One.
fact you were going to say that.
On a 1, it will succeed.
4
On
is a
4,
reroll.
we reroll.
Yeah. Okay.
You
Yeah.
should-
Great. I'll roll my die. Yeah. I rolled a 3.
Okay. So unfortunately, Leshka calls his people, and unfortunately, those who are powerful enough to actually be able to do what you're asking to do are not available to do
Or
that.
don't have the spells.
Yeah, or they don't have the
them
spell slots, or
prepared.
all these different things. Whatever the level, whatever the reason is, unfortunately, you're not able to find someone who would be able to
Okay.
do this for you.
I have another idea.
I
Way to be
banish
creative, though. You guys are being creative, and I respect
banish
it. You guys are awesome.
everyone over the course
I
of
have
the next
another-
8 hours.
I have another idea. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I could send pockets to Grotz to get you guys out. I'll stay here, and you guys just go find Abinthy until you can get me out.
Well, okay. Counter option. Actually, correction. Adjustment option. You call Grotz to come pick us up. Before he gets here, I banish you out of here. You'll get sent back to the material plane. Grotz comes picks us up. We're all out of there.
Okay! I like that adjustment. I don't have to stay in Pandemonium alone. Okay, let's do that one. Okay,
Okay.
Pockets. You have an assignment. I need you to go and actually I should probably write this down because hold on. And then I write a little note, and it's basically my friends are stuck in Pandemonium. I'm technically here too, but but Cather's gonna get me out. It's complicated, but can you please help us? And she puts a little heart, and then folds it up, hands it to Pockets. Okay, you gotta give this to Grotz. Okay, pronto. Okay,
He then does the military strut with the straight legs.
and then tell me what his answer is, because I have to get banished before he gets here because I can't see him. Remember? Perfect. Okay.
So
I picked that up.
yeah, no, 100%. Aaron, I love you. You send Pockets back to his home plane. A few minutes later, yeah, okay, yeah, sure, why not? A few minutes later, do you have a mental link with Pockets always? Is that how familiars work? Even
Well,
when you
I have
dismiss
a
them?
special my
Thing because
Pack-a-Doo
of her pack,
update deal
Yeah, okay,
lets
okay,
me
cool.
telepathically link with them.
You hear the equivalent of yes, got it, with
Okay.
a little bit of flair that I can't say on stream.
So banish me.
Okay. I will banish Renaya, and because she's not, her native plane is not Pandemonium, she goes back to the material plane.
Otter even Renee.
That would be really awkward if I just go to the abyss. Oh no!
Someone didn't think
Okay,
of that.
actually, now we're gonna do 2 auto evens. All right, what's your first one?
I got an odd.
Okay, you don't go to the abyss.
Okay.
Another otter even.
Another odd.
Okay, you don't go to to Gambit's Keep. We'll figure out where you go later.
Where do I go?
It's
Who
okay.
knows?
I've prepared for this.
Gambit's like, I'm ready. I'm
Can
ready to play.
I poof like Pockets. Fun.
For the rest of you, which is, I guess, you, Drew,
True.
along with Volna and Edward and Tevut, I'm gonna say you have a few minutes to figure out. First of all, prep Volna for meeting the Prince of Pleasure. She's never done that before. Also, what the freak you're gonna do with Tevut?
I mean, she can come. She can just come with us, right?
It's a great question that you've asked today.
I mean, okay, because here's the thing, right? Like, we told her, hey, we can get you out of Pandemonium too. And she's like, that'd be great. And Gross can do that just as easily as Abinthy can. So now, whether or not she is allowed to leave, we can't do anything about that here. So
I was presenting opportunities for roleplay to ask her, but you
Bah.
rejected this possibility.
Oh.
So never mind.
I'm sorry. I thought you were talking to Drew, not Cather.
Hey,
I
Catherine,
thought-
do you want to talk to people?
Sure, I'll talk to people.
Because if you remember, I was like, hey, so you have like 10 minutes to prep your sister for meeting a demon prince.
Well,
and
yeah, I
also
was getting
figure
to
out what the
that.
frick you're going to do.
I was
with
answering your other questions first.
Yeah. So, Catherine, you have like 10 minutes to do this. What do you
Okay.
do?
So Catherine walks over to Volna. It's like, okay. Here, so just
Hi.
in case you didn't pick up on everything that we were just talking about right over there,
Mhm.
okay? So Abernathy's gone. We don't know when he's going to be back. He was our ticket out of here. But we have a plan B, okay? I just
Okay.
banished Renaya back to the
Yeah,
material
she's-
plane. All right?
So she's gone.
I'm focusing on that right now. Once it's done, she's back in the material plane and she'll be good. If she's not back at Gambit's Keep, I have a way to find her using my nifty helm of teleportation. I'm going to teleport to her, grab her, teleport back. It's going to be great.
Okay.
If she's... But the rest of us, we're going to pick up a ride from the Demon Prince Grotz. I don't know if you know who that is. Grotz
The
is
demon
the
prince
demon...
part I don't like.
He's the Demon Prince
mean-
of Pleasure, who
Uh-huh.
I did not like at first. However, Renaya...
You
it
get
has-
over it.
Yeah, Renaya has managed to make him actually a pretty cool guy. So it's
This is
he's
Renaya's boyfriend, right?
yeah. Well, I mean, I think they're a little more than just boyfriend girlfriend at this point. They might even actually be married. I looked at Edward like I don't know, but maybe. Anyway, so
Significant other.
so he's gonna be here probably fairly soon to come pick us up, get us back to Material Plane. It's gonna be grand.
Okay.
He's just forewarning. He's really hot. But stick close to me. You'll be fine. Yeah.
Okay. I think I got all of it.
You got it. You feel okay?
Yeah.
I mean, you're pretty cool now. Like you're like a hardened adventurer apparently, because you could do like all these monk things. Like when did you start doing that?
Hold on. I just want to rewind and go back to my favorite line in that whole thing. Plan B. I just banished Renaya.
Well, no, I started studying at the monastery a little bit ago. I kind of picked it up really quick. It's amazing what grief will do for your drive to like accomplish something. So, yeah. Okay, Demon Prince. We're leaving. I like that idea. Got it. Grotz, don't flirt with him. He's Renaya's. Okay, got it. All right, we're good. All right, I think I got this figured out.
And then I'll turn to Tvut.
Yeah.
And say, okay, so Grandma Tvut, in case you didn't catch what I just told to
yes, dude. What
to-
was this again?
yeah, okay, so Plan B, right? Basic
Oh wait,
rundown.
talking to my good ear.
Basic rundown, Plan B. Okay, so Abernathy, he was our ticket out of here. He's not. We don't know what's happened to him. He's gone. We don't know when he's going to be back. So our Plan B. I just banished Renaya back to the material plane. She'll meet us back at Gambit's Keep. I have a plan to get her if she's not at Gambit's Keep, but so we'll be okay there. Also, Grotz, the Demon Prince of Pleasure, is on his way to come pick us up. He and Renaya are very, very close and are our lovers, and so we can count on him to help us out. Don't be alarmed. He's not an enemy. Yeah, he's gonna be here in probably a few minutes to come get us out of here. Yeah.
Drew has like an imaginary timer on his wrist, like countdown to Grotz showing
Yeah, like,
up.
It's like, all right, we have like 5 minutes here, people. All right, make sure you're ready. Make sure all your stuff is good. So yeah, I mean, do you have? Is there any issue with that? Are you like you're still down to come with us, right? Like you still want to get out of this place?
I would love to join you, dearie, but and she kind of like rolls up her sleeve, and you can see
Sick tat.
this branding on her. It looks kind of basically like a circle with a dragon's tooth in the center of it.
Uh-huh.
I cannot leave unless we were to remove this, which requires some special components. If you could find an arcan flower.
What is an arcan flower?
It's,
Where would we find an arcan flower?
Summons her chair, starts rocking. I don't know.
Okay.
I never had to look for one.
What does an arcan flower look like?
It is a small flower with large white petals that kind of pulse with energy.
Okay. White flower, pulse with energy, small.
Cather is checking his watch that just has an hour hand with Grotz on the end of it, a minute hand with Renaya, and a second hand that is pockets. Real quick.
Do I, DM? I mean, have I ever heard of an Arcanflower before?
Make
Do
a
I
history
have-
check, or let's make a nature check.
Nature?
Yeah.
No.
Those are so rare.
I
know.
rolled a 4 on
Go.
die, so that's a 5.
No, you've never heard of an Arcanflower.
Okay. Need to find Arcanflower.
Get Roderick on the phone. Roderick's gotta be good at this.
That's true.
He's a ranger. He knows what's good. Man, without Grant here, it is so much empty silence without him hitting random sound effects all the time.
It's true. It's
It's
true.
devastating. I need to get me one of those soundboards.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Lydia, stop
Okay.
it.
And are you okay if we try to leave and come back for you?
Oh yes. Oh yes. You live your life, dearie. And she's like smacking your cheek, just a little too hard, as always. Just.
Okay. I'm so sorry.
Brutality.
I wish we could be more help sooner, but there's a lot of things that we're trying to accomplish in a very short amount of time.
Can you leave the bubble?
Well, the bubble will be here for another 3.5
You've got
hours.
a strong 3.5 hours.
Okay. Well, here. And she pulls out hand-knit scarves for everybody. Take these and go. Find a flower if you feel like it. Don't worry if you don't. Give me a call. I love hearing about your guys' lives.
I've probably only got about 3 years left to live.
Edward.
I'm retired.
Yeah. And
At
I
this
guess we
point-
just hold tight for.
No, yeah, it works out great because about 10 seconds later, you see this little burning ember kind of come up and create this little door in your reality. And it opens and you see Grotz in his full demonic form, so about 12 feet tall, stepping through. Purple skin, he's wearing his nice clothes, he's got the crown of horns, whole 9 yards. Good stuff, all that fun times. I believe I'm supposed to pick you all up.
Hi, Grotz. Pleasure to see you again. Thank you
Pleasure's
for
mine.
doing this for us. We were in a real kerfuffle without you. You
Most
remember Edward,
people
of
are.
course. Myself. Abinthy's gone. We don't
Hello.
know what happened to him. This is my sister Volna. She's pretty great. And this
Lovely
is
to meet you.
Tavut, the grandma of dragons.
I think I've heard of you before. Oh, that's very nice. That's very nice. And she kind of gives him a good slap too. Oh, okay, all right. Well,
She reached real high up there.
she suddenly stands.
She grows to meet his height.
Really, what
Just
it is?
the arm,
Actually, what I should say, she pats his abs. You know.
Yeah. Like it makes it sound like a bongo drum.
Just. Well, as much as I'd love to stay here,
This is a horrible
this is
place.
a terrible place.
Yep.
We should leave.
Yes, we should. And
Ladies first, and Volna steps through,
and then
and you.
I'll usher
And
Edward through.
Tivut just kind of like puts her hand up. I'll be staying, and then goes and rocks in her chair.
Yeah, she unfortunately she has like a brand that's keeping her here. For, like with this, we're gonna try and fix that later. But
Okay, all right. And so Edward and Catherine, let's go.
we all leave.
You all step through, and have the immediate relief of not having like turning off a white noise machine and actually like being in actual silence for a second. And you're like, oh, that's kind of nice to not constantly have my ears bombarded by even small amounts of noise. As you step into the Argent Palace, Grotz's home on whatever layer of the abyss he lives on, I can't remember.
You know, the one.
The one, yeah, wherever he is. You guys step into the palace, and as you step into this room, Grotz then leads to the other side, opens the door, and you realize that you're on the room adjacent or opposite of the hallway to Renaya's room as well. You guys have been in this room before when you stayed the night here a couple times, several years ago, or not several years ago. I think it was several years ago before
Yeah,
the break.
several years ago.
Beautiful. So I'm supposed to then get you to the material plane. Is that correct?
Yes, that would be most helpful. While we are here, though, I am curious. Do you know anything about archon flowers?
Archon flowers?
Yes, archon flowers. Yes.
It's plants. It's created by the blood of dragons being thrown about. A certain type of flower. I think like a moon lily, I believe. But it's a specific dragon, whichever one's the ones that breathe lightning. Those ones.
Blue dragons, or
Blue
silver
dragon.
dragons.
Or silver dragons. Either one. I don't really pay attention.
I think that's correct. I think silver dragons.
I think silver
Whichever-
dragons might be cold.
I think that's true. But it is one. I mean, it's one of the metallic dragons.
I think it's like copper or something.
no, because
No, not copper. It's brass. Hold on, everybody.
Hold on.
Gotta check the
Give it a
doc.
second.
It's one in the.
It's a blue dragon.
Just blue.
Or bronze.
Just
Or
blue and
bronze.
bronze. Copper, bronze, and brass. They're just so similar.
So yeah. So
Okay,
a
so
blue or bronze dragon. The blood of one of those spread over moon lilies.
Or bronze dragon on moon lily. Well, I know where you can get some of those.
They're just chock full of them. The elves got them in spades.
Well, Cather does have a garden full of them, so.
I remembered the lore.
Right. Okay, that's very helpful. Thank you, Grotz. I'm sure.
Any other questions?
Well, I don't think I have any other questions. I looked at Edward. Are there any other questions that I'm missing that we should ask him?
Hey, Jaegered Edward. Any other questions?
What is your skincare routine? Because you just look fantastic all the time. Do you
Blood of the
exfoliate?
innocents. It does wonders for you.
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to ask Renaya for some.
I will say, since Renaya isn't here with the rest of us,
Yes, I am aware of the situation. Pockets does a good job, and he just summons Pockets.
oh, that's good. Hopefully, we're making progress in some of our goals of hopefully allowing the two of you to be reunited. So,
I appreciate that. As he just like slowly covers your mouth. We don't talk about it here.
oh, I'm sorry, my bad.
Anyway.
I mean, not that.
Just shh. Just no. Anyway,
There's not
I am
good
very
lines,
busy.
guys.
So, as you know, if you go through the door in Renaya's room, it takes you to the material plane.
Perfect. Thank you. You are very helpful. I open the door and allow Edward and Volna to walk through.
Okay, perfect. They both walk through. Do you follow them? Or do
I
you
just stick
1v1
around. I just
Grots?
stick around, I
You
just hang
you just
out.
1v1, take the title.
No, he goes through.
Make out. I mean, what? Who said that?
Yeah. You all step through the door and find yourselves back at Gambit's keep. Renaya.
Where am I?
Well, I'll need you to describe the location, but you find yourself at one of the many locations that your family would pilgrim through as you traveled around. You had like
Ooh.
several kind of home bases that you'd go through, be like, hey, we spend like 6 months here, and then like 7 months here, and then 2 here, and then we go back over here and do all this. So tell me about a location that it probably doesn't have your family at, most likely.
That's a little awkward.
Yeah, just whatever you want. It's somewhere within whatever the country of High Elves is. I can't remember off the top of my head its name, but it's a forested country, the entire place. So
I was gonna say, my brain always thinks forest.
yep.
There's a bit of a clearing. It's within it, and that's kind of where they camped out, but it is tucked away and hidden. It's not really touched. It's very overgrown, things like that. Yeah, that's probably, unless they've been back there, it's probably just an overgrown forest.
Okay. You find yourself in this familiar clearing, surrounded by the woods. And what's interesting about these woods is that they almost seem to stare back at you. You almost always feel like you're being watched when you're here. What's interesting about this is you know that this is a place that your family would often pilgrimage to, but it isn't barren, I'd say. As you look around, you can see some of the fire pits that they'd make. You see remnants of some of the more permanent foundations that they'd use to create. They kind of have not quite yurts, but like long-term tent-like structures that they live out of. And so you see the foundation of one of these, or of several of these. You can see some of the different areas where different rituals would be taking place. Some of the blood-soaked stones, and little small altars that have been built. Go ahead and make a survival check for me.
And DM, to clarify, I don't know how soon I can be there, but as soon as I find out that, Renai isn't at Camp's Keep, I'm going to use my Helm of Teleportation to teleport directly to her.
Yeah.
And I will bring the others along if I can. I don't know if that works within the confines of the helmet or not, but
I'd say with the helmet, sure. It's the
It just
teleport
says
spell,
that I can
so it's you and up
cast the
to like 8
teleport
other
spell.
creatures. Yeah, it's the teleport spell, so it's like you and like up to 7 other people or something like that.
yeah. Okay.
8 on die for 18.
Okay. As you,
My survival's great. I'm so happy I'm getting to use it this episode.
yeah, it's good. Look at us, nature checks, survival checks. You're doing great. As you look around, and begin looking through some of the areas and kind of picking your way through a lot of this, you realize that it's only been a few days since they were here. We're talking, 3 to 7 days.
So, but they're not here.
Nobody is currently here from what you can see, and you can tell us that there's tracks of them, packing up wagons and beginning to leave and stuff like that.
Okay.
And so clearly they have left, but they are only a few days into their journey of wherever they're going.
Oh.
I'd say. So you got banished. I'm gonna say it's about 30 minutes or so before Cather and the rest of them actually end up back at Gambit's Keep. Give it another 5 minutes or so. Cather's like, yo, Renaya's not here. Cather, you search around. Volna takes up shop. You guys can talk. We reconnect. Edward goes and does whatever. Before you realize that Renaya's not here.
Right.
You pull out your helm, and you're gonna teleport to her, correct?
Yeah, and I will bring along at least Edward.
Okay.
With
Yes
me,
or no?
just to make sure that we're all together.
While I'm there, I want to look for where my grandfather would stay.
Okay, pretty easy. He definitely has the largest of these kind of yurts. And so you look at the several foundations that are around here, kind of basically pads that they've created, stone pads they've created to build off of. And you find the location that he would have stayed at. It's the largest of these pads. What are you looking for specifically?
I'm just looking to see if anything was left behind.
Okay, make an investigation check.
Not great. That'll be an 11 total.
Okay. Thankfully, what is left here is not difficult to find. This pad is kind of a cobblestone type structure. It's only raised about, 8 inches off the ground or so. But one of the things that it has is these stakes that are driven into the ground, these permanent stakes that they've driven into the ground as tie-down points for the tent. And they vary in height and length and everything like this, but you can see tied to one of these stakes is a scarlet letter.
Well, obviously I'm gonna read that.
Yeah, you grab the letter and you open it, and there's a very short message. To my darling Renaya, your presence is constantly missed, and we wish to see you once again. We hope that if you find this, you are looking for us. We want you to know that your sins have been forgiven, and we would like for you to join us once again. You know me, and I know your strength. Send me a message if you'd like to find us. And that's the whole message.
Oh no.
Love, Grandpa Ray. we'll say that. I don't remember his first name.
Yeah, Renaya's just gonna sit holding that letter until Catherine shows up.
Yeah, about 2 minutes later, Catherine and Edward, you both arrive in this clearing, about 5 feet or so away from Renaya. You see her sitting on the edge of this cobblestone pad that they have created as a permanent foundation for these long-term tents, and she's just sitting there with this letter like barely hanging in her hands, like barely holding onto it.
I think Grant would approve of this. Since this is the first time ever that Cather is casting a spell of this caliber via the helmet, I like to imagine they both show up hugging each other, just screaming, "Ah!" Oh, it works.
Yeah,
All right.
well, you cast this spell, Cather, and first of all,
be
you
disintegrated.
arrive and you feel nauseous. Okay, harnessing this level of magical energy as not really a spellcaster, you know.
Yeah,
It's a lot, and you definitely like get there, and you're like, oh, okay.
I think I'm going to.
Edward, just give me a moment. You can let go of me now.
He like grabs the helmet and like holds it as a bucket for you.
Just gonna.
Edward never throws up, but he does make that noise for like the next
Cather does manage
for like
to
10
throw up.
minutes.
He he
We're
doesn't
not.
hurl
Cather
into
shows
the
up-
helmet because he's gonna put that back on, but he does like
Yeah.
hurl into a nearby bush.
You're sitting there like looking down, maybe a tear streaming down your face, you know, and then all of a sudden you hear, ah! Oh! And then
Renaya,
you
we
watch as
come to
Cather
rescue
just
you.
tosses the cookie.
And then after Cather composes himself for a moment, he's like, "Okay, oh Renaya, it worked. Great. Hi. Are you okay? I'm so sorry. Did we interrupt something?
I was about to ask if you're okay.
I think I'll be over it. It's just the
I
first
think
time,
I'm dying.
I'm gonna be okay. Ugh.
you know how like when we walk through those teleportation circles, it kind of churns your stomach a little bit. It felt like that, but just worse because I think that's just because like that's the first time I ever cast that spell, you know. But I'll be all right. Yeah, I'll be all right.
Hi.
Hi. Question. Is Renai tearing up at all? Like, does she look visibly upset?
Yes.
Okay. Is she sitting down or standing up?
Yes. She's sitting down.
Okay. Cather will just slowly like approach and kind of sit next to her, and kind of just put an arm around her. It's like, are you all right? What's up?
Look where we are.
Looks around. Well, I can't say I recognize this forest. It seems maybe someplace up north, but not quite as far as Rivaluna. Is this? He kind of like looks to like the cottage.
There's no
Is-
cottage. You can
Oh.
just see. What you would look at is the remnants,
remnants
of
of
a
a campsite?
long-term campsite. You know,
Okay, so like just wagon wheels and like a campfire and stuff like that.
no wagon wheels. but, like,
Just one single wheel.
yeah, just
Why is
one
it there?
wheel hanging
Couldn't
from a
tell you.
tree. But like you see a blood-soaked altar and several like cobblestone pads that you'd have long-term like tent-like structures on. You can see that there's several fire pits. Basically, you know, like if you were going to put it in Cather's perspective, if you were going to siege a city that you knew was going to take several years, this is the type of setting that you'd find that the soldiers would be setting up.
Right.
I can't believe they would sacrifice wagons.
Is this where your family's from? Oh, I'm sorry. The wind blew in my
Ah! It's one of the places they'll stay.
ears. One of the places. They move around a lot?
Mm-hmm.
I see. And he'll kind of look down at the note in her hands. And did they leave that for you?
Yeah.
I see. Well, do you want to maybe get out of here?
DJ trying to be inconspicuous off in the corner is very distracting.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Do you want to maybe get out of here and we can maybe process some of this back at the keep? Or do you want to? I mean, well, we can just stay and sit for a little while if you'd rather do that.
I'd like to go.
Okay. Catherine will stand and help Renaya to her feet before putting the helm on again. He's like, oh, all right.
We're not going to do that again, are we?
Take my hand, Edward.
Oh, no.
And then holding Renaya's hand as well, he will begin to focus as the helm begins to glow and vibrate. And they all, I like to imagine they kind of like fold into one another, like kind of like how apparating works in like the world of Harry Potter.
It hurts so bad.
So, it's on his brain.
Yeah, it is. So they just...
You guys teleport once again to to Gambit's Keep. I always do that. As soon as you arrive, Catherine, you need to throw up again. 100%.
Yeah, he's just immediately runs over to the kitchen and is like...
Renaya, you're like, whatever. This is fine.
Oh, not in the sink. I just assume the chef is there.
You guys all
My
arrive
radishes.
at Gambit's Keep.
My cabbages!
I know that we're only an hour and 15 minutes into it. I was trying to get to an hour and a half because this is going to be probably like a 3-hour episode. But we are going to take our break right now real quick. Lydia's like, yes.
Dude, I've been wanting to eat my Reese's peanut butter cups for so long.
100%. So, yes, in case you didn't catch that, we're going to take our break real quick. And just so the audience is aware, this is going to be about a 3-hour episode or so, not our traditional 4-hour episode. And so we'll be back in just like 10 or 15 minutes. Don't go anywhere. We got lots of storytelling to do. We got to figure out what the heck happens with Abinthy and get this ball rolling once again. So yeah, we'll be right back. All right, and we are back. So we are gonna pick up with Abinthy Triplewoods. Abinthy, after you left the plane of Pandemonium, you found yourself on a rocky mountainside. Along this mountainside, from where you landed, you could see if you went up some of these cut-in steps, steps cut into the rock, there is a small mountain cabin that rests on the mountainside. And if you come down these steps, it leads to a workshop. You went into the workshop to get out of the cold and the wind from this high mountainous environment. And you hunkered down in a corner, covering yourself with your cloak, pulling yourself in. And I believe, if I remember correctly, you had the best night of sleep you've had in a very, very long time, being free of your guilt, your regrets, your nightmares. 8 hours later, we're going to say you wake up. And we're going to do a little bit of timing. So I'm going to say you have just a little bit of time left as being Abinthy in the state that you are. Just a few hours, we'll say. So, waking up in the morning, what would you like to do?
I will stand up, kind of stretch myself out, and unwrinkle my cloak and whatnot. And Abinthy's going to head towards the cabin because he's hungry and he doesn't know where he is.
You make your way up the stone steps before knocking on the heavy wooden door. You wait. You wait just a while longer before eventually the door opens and you see kind of a sleepy looking Goliath tower over you, about 8 feet tall, well built, but definitely not, massive. You can tell that he kind of has like a swimmer's build, where you can see that he's strong and has long muscles,
like a construction worker.
Exactly, but definitely not like a bodybuilder type build. He's wearing very simple clothes. You can see faded tattoos on his neck, disappearing beneath his shirt, and then down his arms and hands, along with some on his feet as well, as he is barefoot. He looks down at you, Abinthy, before pulling you into a small hug.
Ah, yes.
And then releasing you.
Truly, sir, you must be an oracle. Hello, my name, as you apparently know, is Tripwitz the Traveling Tailor. I found myself on your mountain accidentally. I was wondering if I could trouble you for something to eat and perhaps a map or anything. I'm not quite sure where I am.
Come inside.
Well, this is going quite well.
He closes the door behind you before kind of like slowly, you can tell very contemplatively looking over or walking over to the table that sits adjacent to what would be a kitchen. You don't know where you are.
Yes, and don't worry, I'm not expecting anything for free. I have things to trade, I have things to barter. If you need anything repaired, I can repair it.
And you don't know who I am.
No, but I would love to learn. You seem like a very amicable person. Who apparently knows me, which is beneficial.
And you don't know where Talanashta is.
I don't know what a Talanashta is. Should I? Hold on, let me think about it.
Are you alright?
I seem physically well. Had a
Physically,
fantastic
you're
night's sleep.
fine, yes, but mentally, let me make you some breakfast.
That'd be much obliged.
He goes over to the kitchen and begins preparing some different food. You can see he tears some bread. He grabs some what looks like to be a very basic porridge or something of some sort. Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Let me use my non-combat die.
Non-combat. Let's see if he can do this.
Apparently, I'm in combat because that's not very good. 11.
Excellent. You watch him prepare the food for just a little bit before kind of looking around and taking in your surroundings. The cabin itself is modest, but you can tell there's it has a very hand-built vibe to it, where the table and the chairs have all been carved. And there are certain creature comforts. There's definitely a couch that he has that faces the fire pit, along with a rocking chair. There's kind of not a second story, but a half story where you go up a few steps, and there are some bedrooms up there, kind of like your mom's house.
Oh yeah, okay. It's very yeah. No, I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah. So it's
very
not,
rustic cottage core.
Yeah, definitely a little rustic cottage core. Not tiny and poor by any means, but also not those luxury mountainside resorts type things either. Just kind of an actual home, basically.
Yeah.
You sit at the table and take all this in before he comes over and stops in front of you and sets down this bowl of porridge along with this chunk of bread and a spoon. Eat. This will make you feel
fantastic. I'll reach into one of my coat pockets and pull out a Heward's Handy Spice pouch, throw some cinnamon, throw some sugar in there, just really stir it up all nice. And I say, I have no gods to pray to, but you are welcome to do so if that is a policy that you follow. If you don't mind, I'm going to just dig in.
You are welcome to eat.
And I just slam that.
Excellent.
It's not pretty either.
Go and make a Constitution save throw.
Oh, good. A thing that I'm really good at. 16.
Okay. As you begin to eat, you notice a complex amount of flavors. There's the cinnamon and the sugar that you added to it, and what you would imagine to be a very bland base is not the case. As you begin to eat, you notice a lot of herbs, a lot of spices, before you quickly realize, and they don't go well together.
Wow.
It's not tasty.
That is something.
As you quickly begin to realize that there is something that has been done to this porridge. This isn't a poor cook. This was intentional. You're starting to think back on just some of the little things that you begin to see Yorick add, and panic begins to set in before the faintest memory of who Yorick is finds itself fading into your memory. You see him playing with a small dark elven girl, small drow girl. You see him working in this shop. You begin to feel a sort of kinship with this stranger, and over the next 30 minutes, the effects of a lesser restoration spell are brought upon you through the use of herbalism. He'll say, "Finish eating, and when you remember, let me know." Before going and grabbing a book and putting his feet up by the fire as he eats his porridge.
I eat faster, but silently and with less exuberance.
After a little while, you find yourself back completely with who you are. Sitting there at the table of Yorick, your friend and one of your greatest fears.
Hello again, Yorick.
Ah, and my friend has returned. How are you?
I don't know.
Well, how did you come to be here?
The same way that I'm going to have to go.
You are very full of riddles today.
I will be back. But there are people who desperately need me right now.
I understand. I have not received some updates in some time. Can you tell me where Talanashta is? I'd very much like to speak with her.
I will be back, and I'll tell you everything.
Okay.
I promise. And then he will grab hold of his amulet of the plains and plane shift to Pandemonium.
Okay. You cast plane shift and arrive in Pandemonium, and it's hard to tell where you are. You're not at the plains of Illaver.
I can specify a location that I have been before.
Perfect. Excellent. You cast plane shift, and you arrive just on the outskirts of the plain of Illaver. You can see the dome is still up.
That's good.
There's also a faint flicker of this little fairy light in the distance beyond it. But at the moment, you can see the dome.
I will sprint over to the dome.
Perfect. You start sprinting over the dome, and as you get closer, your vision is pretty limited because of the nature of Pandemonium. But once you get within 60 feet, where you can kind of really see within the dome, you watch as Volna, Cather, and Edward finish stepping through a door, and then Tevut is left by herself in the dome.
Wait, no. Oh, God. Again. That means that they're alive. That's... Oh, God. Tevut. I will hustle to the dome. Hello?
Damn, voices again.
Grandmother!
Tevut stands up.
Turn around!
It's not a door.
Every now and then I get... Sorry. Who can just walk through? I haven't been given permission.
Okay. She steps out of the dome. As soon as she does, it just snaps and disappears.
Oh!
Oh, this is so loud. Here.
I didn't think that through. Give me 10
transforms into this
minutes.
massive silver dragon, just gargantuan in size, before draping her wing over you and kind of tucking her head inside of it. That's better.
I will.
Hello, Abanthi. It is nice to see you again.
Yes, grandmother. I am so sorry.
For what?
I mean, I left again.
You had your own life. Don't worry about me. You have your life to live. You know, you have to go make your memories and become your own man.
I'm sorry. I saw Edward and Volna and Cather leave. I caught the tail end of them.
Yes, some pretty purple man showed up.
Okay, that's either very good or very bad. Was Renaya with them?
Cather banished her to somewhere. I wasn't paying
That's good. I'm sure that it probably went to the... Well, it could have not gone to the material plane, come to think of it. So, I'm sure that that's just something we'll have to deal with later. Why didn't you go with them?
I can't leave.
You know, I considered that possibility.
But Cather knows to find an arcan flower, which would help in the ritual to remove my branding.
Arcan flower, okay.
Do I know about the arcan flower or
Oh yeah,
conveniently
you're like,
happen to
yeah,
have
oh yeah,
one?
an arcan flower. Yeah, 100%.
Do I happen to have one? Because I do a lot of magic
you
research
don't.
stuff. Dang it, it was worth a shot. Okay, I thought I'd try.
Yeah. It's always worth the ask. The worst thing you can do is say no.
Okay, I have a question. So, you can't leave.
No.
What if it's not... What if there's a door that leads into a room that the door is kind of still here. And the room is kind of here too.
Avanthi, while I appreciate the effort to bend the rules, I am happy to stay here until you can either help me or I find my peaceful end.
Okay, but I don't want the last one to happen.
Well, then go find the Arkenflower.
Okay, how do I find you when I find the Arkenflower?
I'll be around.
This sucks.
Some things in life suck. At this point, you notice the flittering little light beyond getting kind of not brighter, but almost a little bit bigger, kind of like it's getting closer. And you can now hear over the wind the footsteps.
Do you know what that is?
It's been going on back and forth for a while.
Do I know what
Not
this
sure.
is?
Kind of want to go check it out.
Do I know what it is?
Based off of the clues that you have right now, it's hard to tell. About 5 seconds later, though, the outline of a gigantic figure kind of steps out of the darkness. Over the next 30 seconds, you quickly realize that there is a fire giant dreadnought that is
that's not
chasing like a firefly of some sort, almost like a kid playing with a bug for the first time, chasing it around before it the firefly kind of dances past, and as it does, its vision kind of like notices you guys, and it like immediately like looks over at potentially new play toys.
Don't move. I'm pretty sure its vision is based off of movement.
You quickly realize that that's wrong as he begins charging towards you guys.
I'm going to
what would you like
cast
to do?
dancing lights
Okay.
in just a figure right next to his head. And then it's gonna dance and then just start running the opposite direction of that.
As it goes running off in the opposite direction.
Okay.
That, I'm glad I didn't go check that
Please,
out.
yes. Grandmother, I need you to stay safe.
I will stay around here.
Okay, that's potentially good.
That way you know where I am.
Yes. Don't forget me. Don't forget that I will be coming back for you. And don't die.
I promise at least 2 out of the 3.
That's a good percentage. That's above 50. We round that up. We round that up every time.
You have people to go take care of. Now go. I will be alright.
Afraid that I'm not very good at that. Great. Okay. I'm going to once again grab my amulet of the plains. Okay.
Okay.
So hear me out. I have a question.
Yeah.
So, what if it isn't purposeful that they get teleported? What if just dang it, I thought it was worth a shot. So I failed my intelligence check, which means that I roll a D100, and on a 1 through 60, I go to a random location on the plane that I named. On a 61 to 100, I travel to a randomly determined plane of existence.
Okay.
Okay, so also, this is each creature and object within 15 feet of me.
Perfect.
Just figured I'd throw that one in there. You'd think, oh, Aaron, you're good at checks like that, and you'd be right. But I travel to a random location on the material plane.
Okay.
He just happens to reappear at York's shop.
Yeah, right, exactly.
That's how it worked the first time.
Let's do this. Roll a d4 for me.
Oh, goody. 2.
Okay. You arrive in Othala.
Oh, that's not bad. That's a positive. I make my way to the big fancy place
Uh-huh.
and shoot our teleportation circles broken. God, I'm gonna have to take the long way around. I'm gonna plane shift. I don't know, somewhere else.
Do you not have a teleport spell?
No,
Or the
of
message
course
spell?
not. No,
Sending?
no,
Scrying?
no. I'm bad at divination.
Anything
Okay,
useful?
I can plane shift away and then plane shift back.
Okay. Wow, that's a lot of spell slots.
Amulet of
Well, you have
Planes
the
has an
Amulet of
unlimited
Planes,
amount
yeah.
of uses, so as long as I don't like teleport into a sea of lava, I'm good.
Fair enough, you know. Yeah, sure, go for it.
So I'm gonna name I don't know, some plane I've been around.
Mechanus. Go to Mechanus, please.
Go to Gross's palace.
No, I'll stop by Glossia real quick.
Yeah.
What's up, babe?
So you
Go
name
to-
the Abyss.
Okay, 16, we're good.
Okay.
I
so go-
teleport. Yep. Teleport to jail.
Yep, 100%. It's always on the outside of jail.
Yeah.
You go inside or you're just leaving right away.
No, I go. I'll see you around, sweetie. I will be back.
You feel a gaze on you.
I wink. And now I'll teleport once more to Gambit's Keep.
Nice.
Ha!
Come on.
Okay, we're good. We're
Yeah,
good.
thanks.
Got like a 19. We're fine.
You show up. You teleport into the kind of central courtyard area, and as you show up, you arrive as Cather's throwing up on what now is your feet.
No,
Thank goodness you're alive!
I threw up in the sink.
Oh!
I
yeah,
am in
you
the
did say
sink.
that. Yeah, exactly. He lands in the sink.
Bleh. Apathy, when did you get here?
I just got here. I am so sorry.
You're sorry.
everyone
I just
okay?
threw up on you. I'm so sorry. And Catherine
That's
immediately
fine.
grabs a towel and starts
No,
wiping
I'm
them
in
off.
that's why I teleport into the sink. There's water right next to me all the time. Is everyone okay?
We're okay. Are you okay?
Are
Where did
you
you
okay?
go?
What? Yeah, you
I-
just left.
I am so
So
sorry.
we're told. I didn't see it, but
Yes. No, I'm fine. I'm completely unharmed, totally well.
that's good.
Yes. I went back to get you, and I saw you leaving. With we can say his name, right, Ranaya? Like while you're here, like that's
I know
fine.
what you're talking about. Probably best if we don't.
Yes, I saw you leaving with the unnamed, fiendishly handsome devil. See what I did there? Yeah.
Right.
Got it.
Okay.
But
That's
yes,
really
I,
unfortunate timing.
it was dastardly.
Or really convenient.
One of
Yes,
the two,
and
that's
you
true.
made it back safe. That's good. I heard that you had to banish Ranaya from Tevut.
Yes, I did.
That's good. And you made it back all fine, no problems?
For the
Yeah.
most part.
My tummy kind of hurt a little bit.
It's fine, Edward. You're fine. I run over and I pinch his cheeks. I'm like, I'm just happy you're alive.
So, Apathy, can we ask, where did you go?
I stared into the face of something older than the gods themselves, older than all of creation, and temporarily lost all memory except for who I was.
Okay.
So, in that befuddled state, I went to the glowing orb in the sky, and
Right.
it didn't like me.
Uh-huh.
So, still not knowing who or where I was beset by shadow demon creatures that had a lust for my blood. Not knowing where or who I was, really, I teleported randomly back to the material plane to a place that I, at that point in time, did not know. But I did know. And now we need to go back there because I promised I would go back there, and I don't want to break another promise, which I seem to have a habit of doing, and I've been trying to break for the past 20 years and have as of yet failed to do so.
Okay. Sure, that's a lot to break down. Okay.
Yes. I suppose we
Um,
can make a quick pit stop to drop off. I should ask, how did it go in the giant flowing orb in the sky?
Oh, we got the thing. Edward
yeah.
has it.
Edward pulls out the adamantine term fruit.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
an
I mean,
adamantine
if we can make
temple.
at least a quick pit stop into Vistara Vale to drop that off, I'm sure.
Yeah, so I can teleport all of us to a random location, to a location that I know. Then I can teleport us back.
You
Well,
have
I-
a teleportation circle. It's just that you'd have to do the casting of it to use it.
I don't think any of us.
Renai does.
Renaya has a spell teleportation circle.
It's
yeah.
pretty sketchy. I will say you'd have to succeed on an Arcana check to not like splice yourself in half.
That's
But,
fine.
you know.
That's fine.
Wait, do I? Hold on.
I know that you could have it. It might be the cleric thing from your cleric thing.
I
An
I have
think it's
I
an
have
Arcana
teleportation
check.
circle. I have
Yeah.
teleportation circle.
Okay.
I
I also do have one more use of my helmet if the circle maybe fails.
Yes, I remember you got a helmet.
I don't know if we need to use that to get out of Wisteria Vale though.
You may want to clean it out first.
That's fair. I grab a bucket of water and I
Well,
just,
we're right
like,
next to the
rinse it out
sink.
a little bit. Yeah.
Start scrubbing it with a little brush, a little sponge.
Fantastic. I can assist in any way that you would like me to.
Well, I guess I looked at Renaya and Edward. I mean, do we need to do anything else here? I mean, I think I'm pretty much good to go.
I'm set and prepped and ready to rock.
Going.
I want to rock.
I'm sorry. What was that, Renaya? I only heard a little bit of it.
I said okay. I guess we're going.
Okay. Because this is potentially the last chance that we're going to be here for a little while. Because we got a really big to-do list.
Just like
saying.
7 things all going on at once.
Yeah.
I do have something that I need to do. If you would be willing to give me not actually that long, like 10 minutes. So
In those
I
10
need
minutes,
to run down the
Volna
thing.
will approach Renaya. Oh, hi.
Hi.
So I'm gonna be leaving here in a little bit.
What?
Well, I gotta go back to the Skull's Guide. You know, I was here, but we need to get our sending stones. Also, just happened to notice that you kind of have a tear stain on your cheek after
Oh,
you
my
came
mascara.
back. Something going on? You okay? You want to talk about it?
I'll give you really quick rundown because I don't know how much time I got. Okay, so do you know that I was like raised in a cult family?
I do now.
All right, yeah. So I was raised in a cult family. I got banished, right?
Okay.
Well, the banishment thing sent me to one of the places that they usually stay. They had been staying there pretty recently, and they left me a letter.
A good letter or a bad letter?
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, like, from the sound of it, you'd think it was good. But, with context, it's not great.
Okay.
But don't worry about it. It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm fine.
Burning building around you.
Sips coffee.
Yeah. Okay, well, keep me updated on that situation and let me know if you need anything. Maybe talk to Cather, but I think he's still a ditz. I think he's just trying to be less of a ditz, so.
He does have himbo energy. Okay, but I will message you, well, sending, not message. But it's 25 words.
Okay.
Don't be vague.
25
And,
words,
and,
no
and
bit.
don't use ums.
Okay.
And answer questions first, and then add on your fluff, because otherwise it cuts off, and then I get upset.
Okay. I'm gonna get us some sending stones.
Oh, that's a good idea. But in the meantime, if
Yeah,
that
okay. Alright, okay. Anyway, at this point,
fist bumps, it's like
it's like the Spy Kids fist bumps where it's like, you know, like, the rest of you. Are you all ready to go? Cather, you doing something?
There is one thing I would like to do before we head out, DM.
Okay.
As Renaya is prepping the teleportation circle, I would like to go over to Mary's room,
Mary! Yeah, okay.
and I'm just gonna knock on her door, and wait just a moment to hear if there's any sort of response or anything.
You want me to step in?
Go for it, sure.
Great. The door cracks open, Eye peers out.
Hi, Mary. And Cather will kneel down. We're about to head out again. Might be gone for a little while. There's a lot of things we're trying to accomplish here within a short amount of time. And I know that things have been tough. And I'm sorry that we aren't always around to help. But if you would like, maybe next time that we're here for a few days, I could, the two of us could maybe spend some time. I could maybe show you a few tricks of my own with that blade that you have. You seem quite capable, and it's actually quite remarkable what you're able to do at such a young age.
The door will really quick, like, snap open and then close behind her. She slips out, and she will rush into a hug and just say,
Oh.
I'm really sorry about all the things that I said. Please don't leave. I like it here. Please don't throw me away.
Cather will, caught off guard for just a moment, but then just wrap her in his arms and just give it a little bit of a squeeze. And like, you are always welcome here, Mary. And we will not leave you. I promise. And we'll see each other soon, okay?
She doesn't respond, but she does nod her head, and then faster than she exited the door,
Yeah.
she will somehow escape your arms and then phase through it.
Yep.
Like, it is so fast.
Yeah. Cather will stand and actually kind of wipe a small tear away before regrouping with everyone else, getting ready to leave.
Okay, perfect. Rena, you begin preparing this spell for teleportation. It's hard. Where you're trying to do it is not easy. Eventually you just give up and don't do it in your teleportation room. You do it in the courtyard where you draw the chalk and the symbols and everything like that. And you are teleporting to Wisteria Vale. Did I remember that correctly?
Is that where we're going?
Yes, to drop off the little thingy.
Okay, beautiful. You draw the runes, you finish the casting, and you all step through the teleportation circle, arriving in Wisteria Vale. Specifically, you guys now have connection to one of the circles that are in the kind of that work area, the place where they do all those experiments, the Atelier
Atelier.
The Atelier. I always want to put the R on it, but that's not the
Yeah,
right.
it's like French or something.
It is French, yes. The Atelier. You arrive. Being unexpected guests, people kind of quickly look around at you as you just kind of show up in a workshop of highly advanced wizards.
Nothing to see
yeah.
here.
Carry on.
Hi. Yep. Greetings. Hello. Good day.
Hi. Hi. Before making your way up the stairs to where Adelar Crave's location to be, you open the doors to his upper workshop and you can see that he is tinkering around on something. You step in and he looks up. Welcome back.
Hello.
Hi. Yes, we may have retrieved the token.
You did.
Yes, from Pandemonium.
That's phenomenal. That was so fast. I'm impressed that
Also,
you're all
what day
alive.
is it right now? What's the date?
Oh, that's important.
Whatever the normal date would be.
Okay, so they travel.
Does it seem
was
the
one
right
to
amount
one.
of time?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That's good.
It's 30 years in the future.
Yes, Adelar. This is
Dang
Adelar
it.
Crave's son.
Yeah.
We gotta
Adelar
work on our
Crave Jr.
timing.
Well, if you'd like, you can give that to me and I can get it to Wisteria. It seems, are you busy? Are you going to be around for a while or?
Yes, Renai.
Yes.
I want to insight check that he's gonna give it to Wisteria.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
Just this guy, I'm still sus.
I don't like him.
He's
Fair.
sus.
He's a creepy
And he's
boy.
working on the cage thingy, right?
He was working on the cage thingy.
What a butthead. Oh well, that
I
wasn't
mean-
a great roll. I got a 13.
he seems even with your suspicion, he seems to be 100% honest that he's going to get this to Wisteria, from what you can tell.
I think the real question is, are they both going to betray us horribly?
Yes,
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's a possibility that I've thought about a lot.
A lot.
A lot.
Like they seem way too convenient. This feels very old man beckoning us into a
Just we're gonna lock you into a cellar with Prosius again.
But see, now the real question is, are we going to respond the same way a second time?
Hopefully with just more adequate and accurate violent force.
I don't have a demon anymore.
We're gonna
I
go
just am a
directly for
demon.
Catherine's dad, or for
Yeah.
Edward's dad, directly for it.
Yeah, 100%. This time Edward knows who to target.
I mean,
That's right,
again,
that's right.
like, from the vibes that we were picking up, like, Clovar seemed to be a decent
Seemed to
human
be
being,
legit.
You
Yeah.
know? And I say human being even though he was actually a vet.
Yeah, we know.
But, so...
Very old man Jafar in the prison with
Yeah.
Aladdin. That's funny.
Right? So it's like, it's hard, you know?
I don't think Edward would think any of that. So Edward goes, by all means.
Yeah, no.
Here
Edward
you
hands it
go.
over. You watch as Adela goes, yes! Fine. I'm just kidding.
Unlimited power!
Just starts shooting lightning all over the place. Excuse me.
Power.
He then proceeds to put it in a little cloth bag, like a little velvet bag, before stuffing it into his bag, like his personal bag that he carries around with him.
That's sus.
I'm going.
Who carries 2 bags?
Well, it's like a small, like pouch, like almost like a jewelry pouch for
He
the
had it
thing.
prepared on hand. I don't think so.
Yeah, he knew you guys were showing up eventually.
That's an evil person tell. You have
That's
2 bags.
sus. He
You
thought
got two
we'd
bags.
survive. Sus.
As
You
Adam's
thought we'd be-
massive
we would
bag floats
succeed?
behind him.
No, I have 3
Sus.
spools. I don't carry any bags.
No. Wisteria, as soon as possible. You guys didn't answer my question. Are you staying? Are you not staying?
No. We have
Bye.
we have too many things that we have to get done in a very short amount of time, so we are unfortunately have to book it out of here. But
Yes.
That
but
is
let us
unfortunate.
know. Let us know how the ritual goes, and we will
Is
meet
there
up
a
with
reason you
shortly.
would want us to stay?
Yeah, unless given good reason, we're going. But if you give us a good reason, we might stay.
Even with good reason, we might go.
I mean, I don't know when we're going to perform the ritual. I would imagine as soon as possible.
The ritual?
The ritual.
The
The
ritual.
wicked witch, the ritual.
Do we want to be here for the ritual, or do we wanna...
That was my
That
only
was
concern, is you
really
might want to
boring
look
last
into it.
time.
Otherwise, I know you and Wisteria have kind of a deal, so... that can
Yes,
be
I will be
talked
back
over.
to make sure that she fulfills that deal when I have the proper tools at hand.
I suppose perhaps if Wisteria Vale has a way of messaging us from through magical means,
Yeah, like a sending stone.
we could give it-
Excellent. He then hands you guys a set of sending stones.
Great.
This connects with me and Wisteria, and so it's a 3-way call.
Perfect. Yeah, we
Oh,
will
fantastic.
give you when you guys are ready for the ritual. We will give you an update as to whether or not we can be
Testing.
That's so loud.
Yeah, it
Sorry.
makes the feedback noise because they're too close together.
You know?
Sorry.
But thank you for your help. We have to get out of here.
Well, I wish you luck on whatever thing you're working on, and we'll keep you updated on our plans.
Yes,
Right.
fantastic.
Okay.
Uh,
Bye.
Now everyone
we-
step into my door.
As we walk
Oh.
away, and we momentarily have like a hollow circle. It's like, okay, so what are we doing next?
Yeah, where are we going?
I am taking you, you know that friend, that Smith?
Right.
Yes, I accidentally ended up teleporting to his house when I
Okay.
didn't know who I was.
Okay.
And I promised that I would be back, and you needed to go there anyway, so I just figured, I mean, I can go there alone. I suppose that I was rushing things, but I'd rather
I
not.
mean, it would be helpful to me if we could pay him a visit. I would like to at least look into if he could assist me with the repair of my sword, certainly.
Yes, yes.
However, I also want us to keep a good head on all the things that we're trying to accomplish, because apparently stuff is going down where Leshka is.
What? Is he
guarding.
okay?
Well, I don't
He's
know, Renaya, did
fine.
he seem okay?
He's okay. I mean, it's a little sketchy, but he's fine. He's Leshka. He's died before. He doesn't stay down. It's fine.
That's good
Yes.
to know.
But apparently there's more activity at the Valley of Kings, where the next possible piece of the rod.
Yes, it's certainly something to look into.
So
Okay, well, Cather, is
but-
getting your sword possibly repaired going to put you at your best?
yes.
The
I
answer
would
is yes. Okay, let's go.
Great. Step into my door. I'll cast a demiplane to make a small
I can
room
just
with
teleport
nothing in
us. If
Do you know
have
the
some-
location?
If you have something from
I don't.
there. Okay.
I have nothing. Step into my demiplane.
Okay.
He's got the dirt on his boots.
Yeah.
You step into the demiplane.
It's a nice, warmly lit wood room with nothing in it.
Yep.
And
There's
then
an empty
I
shack.
will cast plane shift with my legitimate 7th level spell, not from the magic item. So that way I don't have to roll a die and potentially send us all into
Pandemonium.
yeah, that would be awkward, right?
That'd be real
Just,
awkward.
oh! As howling winds rip through your
Yeah.
ears again.
There are
Just
worse.
like
I could accidentally send us to like the negative plane.
Hey, at least
true.
the wind would block out my.
That would be pretty
missile
sucky.
cursing.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you all instantly like compress on yourselves and become nothing but like electrons.
Darkness and shadow. Yeah, it would
Yeah.
suck.
Yeah,
So yeah, I will plane shift us to Yorwick's home.
Beautiful.
It's going to be very cold.
Okay.
He says that as you all arrived a second later. The plane shift spell has a slightly different feel to it than the teleportation circle. Where the teleportation circle feels kind of like you're getting like folded in on yourself and then suddenly like appearing like 10 feet away. This feels like when you're taking off on a flight and you have like your stomach kind of weird and stuff like that, and your ears need to pop and all that type of stuff. That's more the sensation when you cast plane shift as you're traveling from one plane to another. But you arrive in that kind of center, not like courtyard, but kind of like middle ground between the workshop and the cabin. It is very cold at this point. In this location, it's getting dark compared to where you guys are from as the time zones, and so the sun is starting to set. The cold is starting to set in. You can tell, for those of you who haven't been here before, it is a very mountainous environment. You can tell you're high in the mountains. There's snow-capped peaks all around you. There's a little bit of snow on the ground. It's very, very rocky, not a lot of vegetation, very remote area. But you can see that there's some cut steps in the stone leading up to a really nicely looking cabin, really well built. And behind you guys is a rather large workshop that you can see. There's a big chimney stack that comes out of it. You can see wood piles all around, so on and so forth. Yeah.
All right, we should go.
You approach the cabin and knock on the door once again. After a little while, Yorick opens the door. For those of you who haven't seen him before, he is a very, very tall Goliath man. You can see he's about 8 feet tall. Like I said, has kind of that swimmer bod to him where he's very strong and has lots of muscle to him, but it's all long muscle. And so he doesn't look like a bodybuilder per se, but kind of more like Michael Phelps if he was 8 feet tall and just shredded.
And even more jacked.
But just more jacked, you know, proportional to his body. He's wearing very, very plain clothes. At this point, he's wearing boots, and it seems to be some sort of jacket. Bald, you can see he has what looks to be very traditional Goliath tattoos coming down off his neck and beneath his shirt, and then down onto his wrists and hands. From what you can see, the rest of his body is covered. I didn't expect you to be back so soon. Come, it is cold outside. Come in, and your guests, come.
Yes.
Thank you
Everyone,
for
this is
having
Yorwick.
Hi.
Yes.
Yorick Runebound. It's a pleasure to make all of your acquaintance.
This is Cather, Renaya, and Edward. They are the people that I had to so rudely leave to go help, but they had already helped themselves. And then it was just a matter of me locating where they were, and now I'm back.
Excellent. I'm glad you are all safe and are able to visit my home. I hope it is accommodating to you. If you'd like, there are places to sit by the fire, and you can then look over and see that he does have quite a large fire going. And he then says, I also have some stew getting ready as well. There should be plenty if you'd all like to have some. I grew the potatoes myself.
Potatoes.
That is very kind of you. Thank you.
Are you planning to stay the night? I just need to prepare one of the guest rooms if that's the case.
Yes.
Probably, yes.
Excellent. Well, make yourselves comfortable. I'm going to go get that ready, and let me know if the stew is ready. You all look capable of knowing that, so just let me know.
Yeah.
He then kind of steps away before moving up some of those half stairs to what seems to be the bedrooms in the back. You guys go over by the fire. You warm up a little bit. One of you checks the stew. He has two massive pots hanging by the fire. One that has stew and one that's almost like kind of like a Dutch oven that's baking bread by the fire. And so at one point you guys check it and it very much is ready and very, very tasty as well. Lots of really good spices and seasonings. There's potatoes and carrots and some sort of meat. Very, very tasty. After a little while, York comes back out. How is it doing?
Could use some pepper.
You have the
Yes.
thing, right?
Yes, I do.
Go for it. Yeah, let me grab some bowls and we should be ready. He then grabs a few bowls. He hands them all out. So, I'm happy to have you all here, and I do not mean to be rude at all, but Abinthy was going to inform me and give me some updates, and I hope that's okay if I'm not 100% engaged with the rest of you.
Yes, actually, Katha did have something as well.
Well, that can. I think if you guys want to
Are
catch
you
up,
sure?
That's probably more important than what I have.
I mean, it's
Do you
your
want like
oath, and
privacy or?
I wouldn't want to hold you back from your gods.
They can wait a little longer. I believe
Okay.
that you and your friend, who you have not seen in a long time, deserve to catch up.
Do you want Catherine and I to like?
Yeah,
Give you
we
guys
could.
some,
We
like,
could step.
space
We could step
or-
away for a little bit if you would like, or we could just
Sure.
sit down and enjoy our soup. It's good soup.
Good soup.
Yes.
Here,
you
I tell you what.
go.
Yeah, I grab a bowl. I grab a bowl for myself and Edward, and put some soup in it. And I try to get a bowl for Renaya, but fail because it's really hard just with the two other
Can't-
bowls.
Yeah.
You don't have to. You don't have to do
Renaya,
that.
can you? Yeah,
yes.
sorry.
I'm right here. I can do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
sorry.
would like
was
it
just-
if you did carry my suit.
That's what I'm
Don't-
doing, Edward.
Don't
And then,
forget
like,
bread. And York tears off half of the loaf and just hands it to you guys to break up amongst yourselves.
yeah, thank you. And then like head up to like the guest room and just kind of like sit down and enjoy their soup and bread.
Excellent. You have lovely friends.
Yes. Traveling companions.
It's nice to see you be social again.
It wasn't fully my choice, but there are benefits.
I'm sure. So, you were going to tell me about Talanasha. I'm sure she's having a wonderful time, whatever she's doing.
She's dead. For now.
How?
Because of me.
How?
I let my guard down and I got irritated. And then while I was not there, she was crushed by a bunch of rocks. Wizards.
you should kill them.
Every last one. Till the hills turn red with their blood.
Did you find her body?
Some of it. I couldn't tell you where it is. I buried it on some unnamed battleground. Not even a stone to mark it.
You should have brought her here. To her home.
I couldn't.
He stands up and goes over to the table and takes the table and in just a very brief moment of rage and grief flips the whole table. And this is like a 6 foot, like 4-inch slab. It's probably weighs like 600 to 700 pounds. He just flips the whole table and kind of this. He then goes back to the table and sets it back up and puts one of the chairs back before sitting at the table and burying his face in his hands and weeping.
I'm going to get it back. It just took me far too long to figure out how.
What do you mean bring her back? People don't come back from the dead.
You should not talk to my friends then. Traveling companions. Most of them have died 2 or 3 times.
This is wrong.
Now what's wrong is that she died in the first place.
And that is your fault. But forcing her soul to walk on the material plane is wrong still.
Forcing her soul to be trapped in the hands of some deranged lunatic who steals good people is worse.
Is she suffering?
I don't know. I've never even heard of the thing that took her. But it will hear of me.
Then I will help how I can.
I don't know if there's much that you can do to help me. Or her. Frankly, I'm at a bit of a loss now. I've already expended most of my resources and I'm just waiting for a call back.
Well, if your traveling companions need something of me, I will do what I can. But know this, Aventhy. When you get her back, don't ever come to me again.
Why do you think that I didn't come here at first? The ones above, they do need you. They need good people. I'm a sorry excuse for what they've lost, which is my fault in the first place.
Well, let us see what we can do then.
For what it's worth, thank you.
I'm not doing this for you.
I said for what it's worth.
Yorick then goes to the guest room. Yes, Catherine?
While that conversation was going on, there is a very short conversation Catherine would like to have with Renaya and Edward, if possible.
Oh, Catherine, this soup is so good.
Oh my!
Is it actually good, DM?
Oh yeah,
It's
100%.
delicious.
Oh,
Just the right amount of
The
pepper.
home cooked meal.
It's
good soup.
As they're kind of sitting there, I imagine it a little awkward given the tension of the room just below us.
Yeah, you're kind of like a little fine, and then like you start talking, and like 2 minutes
we
after you
hear
start
the
talking, you
table.
just hear a, and then it goes back to being quiet.
Do you think he killed Abinthy?
I peek down. I hear Amity. No, I think he's fine.
Okay.
Although I am actually glad the three of us have a moment together. I mean, obviously, I as I said before, I would like to get my sword repaired because I do think it would be very beneficial to all of us in our goals, but I need your guys' help for it.
I can cast mending.
I would more than appreciate any help you gave for Naya. You see, I still have something from the others, and Catherine will pull out a old bone dagger from his bag, and he'll say, Track gave this to me before he died many years ago at this point. And I would like to incorporate it into part of the handle, if possible. I'm trying to whittle some of the bone down to help provide a base for the handle.
There's the table.
Of the blade.
Yeah.
But I would love some help from you guys actually as well, because you see, I never quite fully got why Melora. Nope, I can't say that because I don't remember that anymore. I take that back.
Rewind.
Why? What was I saying?
I'm sorry. I had a flash of something for a moment. But you see, I want to repair my sword, but I also want it to mean something more than what it did before. Something to me. The blade was originally actually my adopted father's, many years ago, and he gave it to me before I left. But I want it to mean something to me because it reminds me of the people I love. Edward, I was hoping, or maybe wondering, if perhaps you had maybe a spare leather strap that you maybe use for your loot.
I always have extra straps on me.
I hate that.
I want to incorporate it into part of the binding for the handle on the blade and the guard. And Renaya, I don't know what sort of mementos you might carry. I know. But I was hoping perhaps something in the crossguard I could incorporate it. Something to help remind me of you as well. Because I don't want to just walk away and forget about you guys ever again.
Renai kind of thinks for a second, and then she has to kind of like pry the links, but she takes a small chain that's accessorized around her. Queen of the Chain. Anyway, but she takes one of those and she hands it over to you. I'm not sure what you can really do with it, but it's the best
Thank
I
you.
got.
Renaya. It is more than enough. And he will pocket both the straps and the chain. Thank you, really, for everything the two of you have done. This trip has been much more than I think any of us thought it would be, and I certainly learned a lot more about myself than I thought I would.
We've come a long way.
That we have. That we have.
At this point, you hear the knock on the door.
Yes, yeah.
York opens the door. I apologize for any commotion you heard. But it seems as if there are potential ways for me to assist you. I was wondering what those might be.
Right. Cather will set down his bowl of soup. Well, I suppose, I guess I don't know if Renaya or Edward have something that they've thought of, but for myself at least, you see, Abinthy speaks very highly of your abilities as a smith.
That's very kind of him.
And you see, I have this, and Cather will pull out the broken promise. First, the hilt with the broken piece of the blade, and then after a moment, the rest of the blade will fly out of the sheath and kind of hover where it normally does. I wish to rebuild this sword. It means a lot to me, and I don't wish to replace it, but simply reforge it into something better. And I was hoping that perhaps you could help accommodate that, if I could help provide maybe some of the materials to use as a base.
For reforging, most of these materials would be reused. May I see it?
Of course, and he will hand it to him.
Begins to inspect it, look over different aspects of it. He seemed very fascinated by like how the pieces hover
kinda,
together.
Uh-huh.
Why does it do this?
Well, I'm not exactly very adept at magic. You see, I am what some would consider a paladin. Once a champion of the gods of death, and that blade was blessed by them during my servitude. More recently, about 8 months ago or so, a year and 8 months ago, I broke my oath, and that broke my blade. And I seek to reforge it because I seek to repair the bonds that I have broken, because the world is in desperate need of it.
I wish that I would be able to assist you, but these are not the means by any mortal man can fix. If your blade is broken because your oath is broken, then you must take it up with who bears your oath.
You help him put the little doohickeys on it?
So what things? Huh?
The little doohickeys, all of our little thingies.
Doohickeys? He looks at you, Cather, questioning.
Mementos. Emblems to remember my friends.
There is something I can do, which is to forge a new blade with these mementos that you could then ask to bless instead.
And that's a tempting offer. Okay. Can you remake this blade using this as, and Cather will produce the greatsword from Vyzen?
I can. It would be a shame to destroy such craftsmanship. But if that is what you wish, then I can use that as the foundation. Would you like another? It seems you have two different styles of weapon here. Would you like a long or a great sword?
That's a great question, DM.
How about a long greatsword?
How long?
How about one
Just
that
an
can
anime
switch into
sword?
a different one?
How about
I want one that switches between the two. a long sword would be more than enough.
All right. Well, then, if you leave these with me, I can have it finished within a couple of weeks.
A couple of weeks. That will have to do.
I will take them to the shop then. Here. And he gathers the sword and the components, the bone dagger, the chain, the leather strap. You kind of run him through what you're looking for, stylistic wise, all that type of stuff before he kind of like nods and leaves the house, taking it out to the shop. And he stays there for a little while. You don't know if he's working on it or if he's doing other things. You're not quite sure what he's doing, but the house is the four of yours now.
Well, I mean, it's pretty late at night, right?
It was just sunset a little bit ago, so it's probably like 7 o'clock at this point.
Okay. All right. Well, I had my conversation.
Haven't they? Maybe someone wants to talk to him because he just had a major character moment.
I'm good.
I mean, I guess
I'll do
if
it.
we're still in the
Haven't
upper room,
they?
we will make our way down.
Are you
I do
okay?
have a thing. I do have a thing I want to do before
Beautiful.
we close. But if there's anything anybody else wants to do,
I mean, I'm good. I'm
You
depressed.
guys go
so-
downstairs. The four of you kind of sit in
Been
awkward
there,
silence for a
done
second while you
that,
eat your
Still
soup.
there.
Renai, what is it that you would like to do?
Once everybody starts like settling in for bed, Renaya's gonna try to find somewhere away from everybody.
Okay, like how private are you looking for? Because it's either you have Yorick's room, the one guest bedroom, the living room and kitchen and dining area, or the shop. It's kind of the only place that you could go to.
I just want to not be hurt.
Okay.
If we're all downstairs, you could be up in the guest room. Probably be
Perfect.
pretty all right.
Great. You're like, yo, guys, I need a minute. And you go upstairs.
I got to go to the bathroom. Be right back. Boop doop boop. Okay. Renaya's going to first make sure that she can't hear them.
Okay.
If she can't hear them, maybe they can't hear her. But then she looks at that letter again.
Mm-hmm.
And she is going to cast Sending to her grandfather.
Okay.
It's Renaya. You can respond to this. 25 words. Don't be vague. Please. Why did you leave that letter? What do you want from me?
That's all of them.
I know I counted. I planned this out. I'm ready.
Just like wrote it out. She had a little script.
I slit right here, bro.
I wish to see my child returned.
That sounds evil.
We miss you. And from what your friend has told us of you, we are proud of the progress you've made and the power you have. I don't know if that's 25 words, but that's where he's gonna end it.
Was it me, Jesus?
Okay. Oh gosh. Okay, she's going to cast Sending again. What friend? And that's all. What she's gonna send.
The Changeling.
Blix found them. Oh,
I should end right here. How awesome would that be?
Oh my goodness. Is Blix alive?
Okay, I'm going to cast Sending one more time. And I'm casting Sending to Blix.
Okay.
Where are you? Are you okay? What did you do? That's all I'm gonna send.
That's fine.
She's keeping it short this time.
That's fine. That's great. You do not get a response. It seems as if it falls on deaf ears.
Does it like go through?
No.
You only get one of your characters back in this campaign. All right.
I just like truly comprehended what you said, Aaron. That's okay.
Renaya is essentially going into a panic attack right now. Shoot, dude!
Yeah, no. Also, I'm not trying to make fun of panic attacks by what I just did, just so everybody's aware. Just in case, you know?
Yeah. Just a sound effect.
Yeah.
It's a shame that we're all too far away to hear it.
Yeah, Renaya's just gonna stay up there. Oh, shit, dude.
Catherine, Abernathy, and Edward stand awkwardly in the bottom. Abernathy
I mean,
is
if
just-
somebody comes up, they're welcome to, but Renaya's too scared to move.
DM, I did remember a thing I would like to do.
Okay.
I'm sorry, it's separate from Renaya. So if we want to stick on the Renaya thing, if somebody wants to go like help her out first.
Let's stick with the Renaya thing while we're here and figuring things out. Eventually, we'll say Abernathy. You're like, well,
I mean, shoot, Cather will go up and talk to her. I just want to make sure I do a thing before we end the
okay,
episode.
great. Go
Yeah,
up. Someone go up and talk to her then.
Yeah, Cather, like after a few minutes, is like, you know, I'm gonna go check on Renaya. She's been up there for a little while. You know, just want to make sure. I walk up and just.
You like
Renaya.
do the thing. You open the door.
Yeah, just open the door and just. Renaya.
Renaya's like freaking out. She's pacing. She's kind of like sitting down. She's in shock for a second. She doesn't know what to do. She's having a panic attack.
Okay.
She's kind of gone through the phase of that, like, hard to breathe, tight chest. She's gone through that, and she's kind of in the part where it's, like, numb now.
Oh, okay.
And so she's kind of just, like, sitting there.
Cather will, like, as soon as he sees this, like, open the door and enter, and kind of, like, somewhat quickly shut the door behind him before, like, walking over to Renaya. Is like, what's wrong? What happened? Hey. He'll put his hands on her shoulder. It's okay. It's all right. Just breathe. You'll breathe. You're safe. You're okay. All right. Just take a moment. And he'll.
I think What were you going to say? Go
Well,
ahead.
he was just gonna maybe help her like sit down. You know, that way, just try and help her like maybe just try and breathe and relax just a little bit. Just take your time. Walk me through what happened.
She just kind of looks over to where she left the letter. Cather, I think I killed Blix.
Why do you think that?
They knew about me because she found them.
Blix found your family.
And I couldn't message her. It didn't go through.
He'll just immediately kind of pull her into a tight hug and embrace. It's okay. It'll be okay.
Why did I send her? Why did I do that?
Because they're your family, Renaya. And it's hard to break those ties. But you don't Don't let this define you, Renaya. You never wanted Blix to get hurt. Alright?
What do I tell Leshka?
Well, in time, the truth, because that is what he deserves. But you also deserve the time to process what this means, alright? If you want to go after them, we'll go after them. If you want to stay away from them, we'll stay away from them. We're here with you, Renaya, to the very end. From the depths of the abyss to the wilds of the forests of the north.
Yeah, that's how that saying goes.
I'm always here. Even when I'm really bad at being here.
Okay. Can I
No.
have another moment?
He'll let go of her and stand, turn and exit the chamber quietly.
Renaya's gonna take a second to try to compose herself.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to cast one more sending.
Do.
This sending is going to attempt to go to Kai.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. 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 Let's do it. I'm ready.
And Renaya,
What's up, babe?
Renaya is going to say, "Tell my grandfather I'll be home soon." Does it go through?
It goes through and you don't get a response.
Good.
You're like, yeah, shut up.
He better not respond.
Very nice. Very nice, Renaya. How you doing over there, Lydia?
DJ, why'd you do this to me?
So, Cather,
Uh-huh.
you had something that you wanted to do?
Oh, yeah. After Cather comes back downstairs and just like takes him, like he pauses and just like breathes. He's like, "Wow, this has
It's
been
like,
quite the
wait.
day."
Another thing on my soul.
And then he will actually just step outside and just like it's still pretty close to like the door to the home, but he'll just kind of step outside. Is there like a small like garden or anything I
No.
could like around?
Nope.
No? Okay.
He
Didn't think so.
grew potatoes somewhere.
That's true. There is a like raised garden bed, but not like a garden that you go walk through while you pray to your gods.
Yeah. Okay. He'll find like just something still like nearby and visible, so if anyone came searching for him, they could easily find him, but a little quieter, in the cold. And he'll just kind of kneel, and just kind of hold his symbol, and just kind of, just thinking to himself mostly, but still praying this, to the gods of death. Do you have your answer, basically? Amongst the potatoes.
Cameron, you're fired. You You pray to your gods. You wait in silence. And after just a little while, you see a small flower sprout and bloom out of the ground.
What kind of flower?
Moon lily. Bathed in the blood of a blue. I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say, has it been bathed in the blood of a dragon?
An arcan flower.
That would be pretty sick. I'm just saying.
That would be like that would be mad. Mad sick. Yeah.
Dear
Okay.
God, it would be really convenient if you just.
Just
So-
one dragon.
Okay. Okay. He will pluck it from the ground, kind of hold on to it, and kind of just press it close to him. Before standing up and making his way back to the house.
Right. With Cather, you plucking this flower and getting an answer for your questions. With Renaya learning about her family and the open-ended question that was what happened to Blix. And with Avanthy finally, unfortunately, being able to explain to Yorick what happened to Talnashta, we're going to go ahead and end tonight's session. I know it was a shorter one. I apologize for that, but Grant's not here, and we got things that are important for everybody to be around, and we're all exhausted. Aaron's about to get his wisdom teeth taken out. It's going to be a great time. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Good job to my players. You all crushed it with the role play.
I wanted to make a comment earlier, but the timing wasn't great. DJ, your physicality cracks me up nonstop. It's my favorite thing you do.
I'm happy to do it. I'm here for it. You guys all did great. Hopefully, I didn't hurt you and Aaron and Lydia.
I'm
Hopefully I didn't
good,
hurt you guys
dog.
too much.
I enjoy the pain.
Yeah, suffering's good. But check us out on our social medias. Come back Thursday for Table Scraps as we break down this episode. Also be on the lookout for Patreon content coming up this month. And be on the lookout for podcast updates, YouTube videos, maybe even a couple of TikToks. If we get around to it, we'll see. Who knows?
I'm trying. I'll have a lot of free time in the next 3 days, so we'll have to see what
true.
comes of it.
Heck yeah. But yeah, we love you guys. We're happy you guys were here to watch. Thank you guys so much for watching. Good luck and Godspeed, Dungeoneers. Have a great night. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
See you on Thursday at 1:30 p.m. CST. My mouth will be in pain.